Okay, guys, I don't know if you just saw that, but on the upper left-hand corner, I saw a dude just walk by and say hi to the camera. All right. I thought people would be evacuated by now, but I guess some people stayed behind it, which I'm not surprised about. Although you're kind of trapped there now because flights are canceled and airports probably closed at this time. And I just wanted to also point out before I muted myself again and we get back to just basically live coverage here and programming. Let's take a peek here at our hurricane here. Hurricane Helene, high-end Category 3, continues to show that. 120-mile-an-hour hurricane. I definitely think that is 125 at this point in time. And then as you go up here, it's a 120-mile hurricane. So I definitely think this will be a Category 4 still when it makes landfall. I just think it's going to be a close call between a high-end Category 3 and a low-end Cat 4. So obviously we'll see what happens, but it isn't really looking likely for a mid to high-level Cat 5 or Cat 4 or Cat 5. So, well, I think a Cat 5 is definitely out of the question at this point, unless something severe happens with this. But, yeah, overall, conditions are continuing to just deteriorate and get really, really bad across portions of Florida. Florida Panhandle, your waters are starting to rise significantly. You can see here on our first few cameras here, the upper three, I think that's just east of Panama City and west of Gainesville. Your water levels are really starting to get angry, and that's just a surefire beginning sign that the hurricane's approaching. And that eye wall is only a couple more hours away, so just prepare for the storm surge while you can. All right, so this is for the people who haven't evacuated. If you've evacuated, good job. All right, but if you didn't evacuate, get your butt into high ground. All right, you only have a couple more hours. All right, let's check on our new tornado warning we have here in the Florida Panhandle here. You can see here that's just in between the city of Chipley and Mariana here. So we're going to take a look at our single site radar here and basically see where that rotation is right now. I'm going to move a couple of these live webcams around. Sorry about that, guys. We just need to have ways of getting to these tabs. So we're going to look at velocity, high-res velocity. And you can see here that looking at velocity on here, the rotation's not that strong, but you can really see it, especially north of Alford and a couple miles southeast of Chipley. So there is a little bit of a couplet there just northwest of Alford. But I really don't see this as a really big rotation sign. So at least that's good news there. but I definitely still think we will be dealing with storm surge in this area soon. So tornado warning is not your only deal right now. I'm just letting you know if you haven't known already. But we have many tropical storm warnings across the state of Florida, hurricane warnings across the Florida Panhandle. And then as you move all the way up here, you got a big tornado risk in this enhanced risk area. So, yeah, guys, just we're going to keep trugging here and staying live probably until about 9 o'clock or so when this thing makes landfall. So, yeah, just stick around. Feel free to stick around and make sure you hit that like button while you're at it. It's really going to help to get that out there, the signal out there. Thanks, guys. I'm sorry about all the switching around, guys. I just wanted to cover something, and it was kind of impossible to do with those little cameras in the way. So I've decided I'm going to put them on the right side, and they're there to view if you would like to view them. So yeah, Hurricane Helene continues to show high-end Cat 3 strength, and will likely continue that as it continues to move northward. Again, guys, I think this will get to a Cat 4 before landfall. I just don't know how long it's going to be. Next National Hurricane Center update will probably be a 4 if it's going to become a 4. So, just going to let you guys know that. Pressure on the cameras are beginning to drop there, as you can see there on Apalachicola camera right there on the far right centered. 996.4. That was 999 a little over an hour ago. So you could tell the pressure is really starting to downgrade here, go downhill from here. So, and you can also see your water levels are beginning to really rise as the hurricane approaches. And we're going to take a look at this on live radar here because it's kind of interesting to see for one. Two, it's gonna help us to see like kind of where the heaviest banding is going on here. So let's see at a look at reflectivity here. You can see there's the eye wall right there. There we go. There's the eye wall right there. You can see that right there. Those really heavy areas right there. That's the eye wall, and that's where your strongest winds are. And in these, you can see winds as high as 123 miles an hour here. You guys can tell this thing is rapidly strengthening. And like I said before, this could become a Category 4 before long, all right? And look at these past couple runs. All right, not nearly as strong. Now it's showing about 123 mile an hour winds. All right, you could tell that is a surefire sign that things are starting to get really bad across these areas. So the storm itself is still over the Gulf of Mexico, but like I said, it is starting to head toward the Florida Panhandle, and it is not far away from it. All right, so you can see deteriorating conditions will continue to persist as these really heavy bands of rain will likely shred onshore and likely begin to start storm surge here in the next hour as the hurricane continues to get closer. There will also be continued tornado warnings as well, so just be ready for that. Okay, guys, we have some pretty powerful rain bands that are moving into portions of western Florida here, and this is exactly what I was going to talk about. They just issued a tornado warning. I was just going to say that they should issue a tornado warning, but they beat me to it, of course, because they're good, the National Weather Service. But anyway, new tornado warning down here for Northport, Englewood, Grove City, and Venus, Florida. Get into your safety spots. Multiple of these cells are capable of producing tornadoes, not just that one. You have a radar indicated rotation here. Let's see where all of those couplets are for you here. It's really hard to see, but you can kind of see the inflow that's going on here. You can see those darker shades of purple and blue here. Obviously, that might be the wind, and but this pocket right here of like 100-mile-an-hour winds, just that alone, makes me want to think this is an area of rotation. All right, now obviously out here, this is the hurricane itself. All right, we got some serious 100-mile-an-hour winds that are going to be pummeling in shortly to the Florida Panhandle. But aside from that, we have again this tornado warning. And I just wanted to point out that those darker blues are indications of impulses or basically inflow. So you got inflow right here. You got inflow right here. Well, you got now inflow right here. And you got inflow right there. So you have two areas of rotation as it looks right now. And one of these could potentially be on the strong side, so I don't want to let my guard down on that one up there, though. And looking at correlation coefficient, it's going to be so hard to see because there's going to be a ton of debris flying everywhere with the hurricane and stuff, so I'm definitely not going to rely on the correlation coefficient right at this moment. But let's take a peek further northward here. You can see we have special marine warnings like by Apalachicola. I hope I'm saying that right. And that's for these storms right here that are packing a punch with some pretty heavy winds. And these are severe wind gusts, folks. These are embedded with thunderstorms. So make sure you're ready for that in Apalachicola. And like I said, because the hurricane's back here, these are considered severe thunderstorm winds. All right, so just wanted to brief you that here. And you can see here that we have many impulses here, all right? So we not only have the damaging wind threat, we also have a little tornado threat. So, and the water spout threats there very much as well. So you can see here, producing water spouts with wind gusts 34 knots or greater. So we got some pretty nasty, strong thunderstorms about to head into the Panama City region and the Apalachicola region. So that camera on the bottom right could potentially start getting a bit feisty here. It is actually starting to get a bit feisty as of right now. And the other cameras above that, I think, will start to get nasty here once the main part of the hurricane begins making it progressing towards north. All right, so we do have to wait a little bit longer, but it's not going to be that much longer, folks. All right, the hurricane is here, and there's not much more time left. All right, so again, just you should have completed your preparations numerous days ago. So I'm just letting you know that you guys should be prepared right now. As we look here at this potential water spout just offshore of Apalachicola, don't see any funnel clouds or anything on that live camera. Whoops, I can't circle anything. Whoopsies. But I do see this rotation right here many miles offshore from Apalachicola, so I'll continue to keep an eye on that for sure. And we might actually have a water spout here as we take a look at correlation coefficient. Yeah, we could certainly have a water spout there, not picking up much, only water, so only that minor correlation drop really signifies that potential there. And if we look at vertically integrated liquid as well, you can see we also have maybe some right there. I don't see a lot, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. We have rotation. We have the potential for water spouts. All right, so I'm just saying, if you live in Apalachicola or you're on a boat, which you should literally not be, that hurricane's very much close enough to cause damage. And like I said, this is a very, very large storm in size. Not only that, but in intensity. All right. And it's large in size because if you look at satellite, this area extends for like hundreds of miles, folks. Look at this massive wind field. All right. Like it extends all the way from the Gulf up into eastern Florida. All right. How insane is that right there? All right, and that's definitely something there. And I also want to point out National Hurricane Center pointed, just I'll put out their 5 p.m. update. Yeah, guys, you can see 125-mile-an-hour Hurricane Helene, folks. So you can see we're starting to creep up toward low-end Cat 4 status. But like I said at the beginning of the live stream, it's going to kind of be a battle between high-end Cat 3 and low-end Cat 4. All right, so we're probably talking in between 125 to 130-mile-an-hour winds. So, and gusts as high as 160. So, we're going to need to keep an eye on that. I know it just says 155, but I think gusts could be well higher than that. We also have another tornado warning here across portions of eastern Florida that'll expire in 1 minute. I did not notice that was not new. I don't know why, but let's go back to this one down here. Oh, yeah, you can really see the depths of that rotation right there. That is really noticeable rotation here. Taking a look at correlation coefficient, we might actually have something on the ground here. But again, it's hard to see because of the hurricane force winds and all that and the tropical storm force winds and that. So it's definitely hard to see, but I definitely see an inflow notch here as well as here, all right? It's minor on the left, but the major one I'm watching especially is on the right here, all right, and near Venus East. And I think that buzzing just signified another tornado warning. So let's check it out. We got to play the search game here. Where's that tornado warning? I'm just searching around the entire United States at this point, guys. Oh, okay. All right, so now we have a tornado warning for the Sarasota storm. All right, good. So they're finally putting out warnings for that. I apologize for that live webcam. But yeah, they're starting to put out tornado warnings more and more for these storms, and it's just getting concerning. So, I mean, I see a lie that's reasonable. But there's a new tornado warning across Sarasota right now. I don't know why it's not popping up. There is a new tornado warning in Sarasota. So, I have no idea why that's not popping up. I would gladly want to know. But you guys can see here just offshore that you have the hurricane. All right, so you can see that some of these winds are as high as almost hurricane force across portions of Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa. You're starting to get in the thick of things right now with those hurricane force winds and those thunderstorms producing that. And near St. Petersburg, those are beginning to move northward as time goes on here. And like I said, tornado warnings are going to continue increasing in coverage as this hurricane gets closer to land. We're probably going to see a ton of tornadoes being reported along this circle region, especially just along the coast. All right, so we're really going to need to keep an eye on that. Areas like Horseshoe Beach, Cedar Key, Cross City, up into Perry. This is the area where tornadoes will likely be most prevalent when this comes in. So we're going to need to keep an eye on it. But like I said, up here, when this gets up here tonight, this is the big tornado threat area. We could see a tornado outbreak. All right, so South Carolina will be primed for that. I will not, unfortunately, be live for that, but I am being live for the hurricanes. So Yeah, like I said, this is almost a category 4. I wouldn't be surprised if it is by now. It is a 951 millibar hurricane. I don't believe that. I think it's much lower than that. I think it's like 946 or something like that. From what I heard, let's take a look at the planes to see if the hurricane hunters did a little circle here. 6 minutes ago, Helene. Let's see what they saw. Okay, where are the data? Where's the data? Oh, the plane's coming, folks. The plane's coming, so we gotta wait for a little bit. Obviously, it's quiet over there in the west, but we're waiting for it to move over to this area. So we're probably gonna have to wait till about 5:30 to get that going. But yeah, you can kind of see that conditions are deteriorating on those live webcams there, especially on the bottom right. Those waters are getting really, really angry. And it looks like we have now 8 sky cams active here, all right? It looks like we have one active in Tallahassee, all right? We'll trigger this one here. Well, I guess we could. I was going to say I was going to hold off because eyewall's not going to hit nearly as soon as that, but we will likely see some cool sheets of rain. Well, not really cool, but you know what I mean. Some sheets of rain moving across the live webcam. So we're going to be pulling up the Tallahassee cam just for that. And you can see our Horseshoe Beach camera is up here. Our Dark Star Beach, Dark Shoe Beach is up there. Apalachicola and Tallahassee. The Tallahassee cam keeps glitching for some reason, folks. I guess they're having trouble putting it up. So we're gonna have to, I guess just wait it out. We have like 3 different other live webcams here, so just don't bear it. It's fine. But you can see here that the plane is still states away. However, it's likely going to be, like I said, arriving very soon. So we'll begin to start getting an update on Helene probably shortly. So let's take a look at our 34 minutes ago plane here and see if there was some data that we might have missed here, because that's very much possible we could have missed some data here. Flight level winds here, you can see mean level sea pressure. As winds increase, look at the sea pressure. All right, you're looking at like this was at around 3:45 p.m. Eastern this afternoon, or 3:30 p.m. this afternoon, 9:51, folks. All right, so like I said, that's why I think that pressure is way of a heck lower than it is right now. All right, and you can see the flight level winds. They're not strong overhead, so that's a lack of wind shear you're talking about. So the winds aloft are very weak. All right, so that's a sign of little to no wind shear at all. So that's definitely helping to sustain this thing. So we're really just going to have to continue monitoring this here. And as you can see here, they keep catching like these 100+ mile an hour winds. And that's why the National Hurricane Center updated that. I'm not surprised they did that for the thick of things here. And we're going to take a peek here, like I said, at their next flyback here. That was their previous flyby there. So we're just going to have to wait for the next update from the airplane here. We'll turn that back on in a little bit so that you don't just see lines and barbs flying across the radar. So, yeah. We'll keep that in mind for a little bit. But you can see here that this hurricane is not far away at all if you compare it to these past couple days, folks. All right. This is not far away from land at all. And I think it'll be making landfall probably within the next couple hours. All right, probably around 6, 7, maybe 8 o'clock EDT, but I think that's a stretch for the eye wall. Landfall will likely be at 9, 10 p.m. for the eye, and then the other part of the hurricane probably around 10, 11. So, yeah. They keep shifting that path. I don't know why. They keep making small tweaks to that path, if you guys haven't noticed there. Category 3 hurricane still 125 mile an hour hurricane. I think this is way lower than 951. But like I said, the plane's still not there yet, so we'll get another reading once they fly by. And I guarantee it's probably going to be in maybe the 930s. So we're going to need to keep an eye on that. Maybe a Category 4 by when that flies by. That's when the National Hurricane Center will update, when the plane flies by. But you guys can see here, we continue to have this tornado warning here. We continue to see these storms, some of them tornadic here. You can see here this specific one is just continuing to hold on to its pesky, really, really just clumsy rotation here, or whatever you want to call it here. But you can see here that this rotation is definitely not wanting to give up anytime soon, all right? I'm going to move this Tallahassee cam out of the way for just a second. We'll put it back here. But you can see here that this rotation is starting to grow, and it is kind of concerning headed into the northern parts of that there. You can see that there. And I don't know why they don't have a tornado warning for this, but I disagree with that. I don't know why there's not a tornado warning for that. I would have already had one out like 20 times ago than that. So, yeah. New tornado warning also near Apalachicola. That's not directly into our live webcam here, but it is pretty close, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, we're going to need to keep an eye on that one because our Apalachicola cam is really just west of that area. So, we need to really keep an eye on that. No funnel clouds spotted on that camera. Again, that's the third one down on the right. And that's the one where you see the water and kind of the logs battered up. I don't see anything of concern right now, so we'll continue to monitor it. But like I said, folks, the tornado action is going to only go downhill from here. Storm surge is going to go downhill from here. Wind is going to go downhill from here. And just conditions overall are going to go downhill from here. So I'm just preparing you guys for the worst. Hurricane Helene early tomorrow morning will continue to be a Category 2 as it races through Georgia. As it moves up into Tennessee, it'll likely weaken into a post-tropical storm, gusts as high as 70 at times, and gusts as high as 45 as it continues to move off towards the west. But there's still a lot of time for that to change, so we're going to need to watch that closely as well in the future terms. So, yeah. But you guys can see here that on the Tallahassee webcam, as a matter of fact, that's just outside of the cone of uncertainty. So they're on the western end, so I'm not saying they're not going to get like big conditions out of this, but I don't think their conditions are going to be nearly as severe as those east of like Apalachicola. All right, so anywhere east of Apalachicola, I think, is going to get the worst conditions here. Yes, that might include Tallahassee, but that's a close stretch, so we're going to need to watch that closely here. Guys, this is probably the worst hurricane we've had since Ian. I'm not going to lie. Idalia was bad, but Ian was a very strong hurricane. Idalia was a Category 3. All right? Ian was almost a 5. All right? This will not be anything like Ian or Idalia or Michael. All right? This is going to be a new hurricane with new stories coming out on the news. All right? And that's the scariest thing about it. So, we're really just going to have to, I guess, just hope for the best here with this hurricane, which it doesn't really look like that's going to happen, but we'll see. Yeah, guys, that's enough for me for now. I'm going to mute myself again so you guys can enjoy the live webcam some more and basically look at the radar and see where Helene's going. Thanks for listening to me for the past probably half an hour or so. giving you updates. I'll continue to update you every now and then, but not consistently. And I'll let you know when the eye wall is getting close because that's when conditions will likely deteriorate. So, yeah, guys, just stay tuned for that here. I apologize, guys. Radar Omega's being dumb. I'm going to set back up these live webcams. I apologize again for setting up these live webcams yet again. But it's it's way out of my control, folks, unfortunately. So, technology will be technology, and I can't really do anything to stop it. So, I mean, I guess I got to go with the flow. I'm going to set up these live webcams again, but I also wanted to point out that Hurricane Helene continues to show as a 951 millibar hurricane. And I see no signs of the planes flying by yet. All right, so we're just going to have to wait on that plane to come because it's still in depths of flying here. You can see the increasing winds and the decreasing pressure. 997 already way out ahead of that hurricane there. But you can see that happening there. And I also wanted to throw on a couple extra live webcams here. All right, we have tornado warnings in some of these live webcams. All right, Apalachicola, you're in a possible tornado warning right now. So I'm going to put your live webcam up at this time. Carabel, Florida, I'm going to put your live webcam up at this time. Might take it down, we'll see. Well, actually I might not, because that could be a hard hit area. Coastal area, Shell Point Beach, you're fine right now. Yeah, we'll leave these cameras up right now. We'll swap them out if needed. But yeah, you can see the angry seas right now rushing in on that Apalachicola camera. And conditions, like I said, folks, are only going to go downhill from here. I'm going to put up this Dark Island, Florida camera up because for people who like seeing the wind blow the trees, like me. Including me. There's that camera for you. And I also wanted to point out that I'm going to be adding a couple more cameras on the left-hand side shortly. I'm actually going to do that now, to be quite honest with you. Okay, this one, Shell Point Beach. Some of these live webcams may glitch out in the middle, folks, so like I said, we're just going to have to go with the flow, what this thing does, or what this, what Radar Omega does. So yeah. It does look like there's 2 sky cams here. Keaton Beach, Florida. Alright, there is another live webcam right here. Alright, that's going to be overlaid. Again, sorry friends, that Radar Omega was being a little funky there. It can sometimes do that on mobile. Oh, wow, look at the wind picking up on that bottom right one. I think that's Dark Beach. I keep forgetting the name. Apologies. But, yeah, you guys can see conditions are going to start really going downhill here in the next couple of hours. Wind's really picking up on that one. Okay, we have this one. Again, guys, I apologize for going back and forth between live webcams. I just want to find the right ones so that you guys will be satisfied. So, yeah. Okay, so that one, you'll see the trees blowing. Top one, you'll see storm surge. So, yeah. Okay, I gotta find the 8th one. Alright, oh yeah, that's the Tallahassee one. Bonkers. Alright. The Tallahassee one is further inland, folks, but I don't know if you heard on my video, this could go very far inland and produce hurricane winds as far inland as, like, Georgia and South Carolina. So, I'm just telling you guys that this is only going to get worse in the next couple hours. Alright, so these live webcams are not going to look like this. Instead, they're going to look 100 times worse. So I'm just preparing you guys because it's going to look nasty on really the Storm Surge editable cameras here. So we're going to need to look at that as that moves in. But I'm going to move this off towards the right so I can have my toolbars here if I need them. So, yeah. But for now, guys, I'm going to go back on mute and enjoy the live webcams as conditions continue to deteriorate.